finger on the trigger, I ain't never giving up.
The top three here, Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, 13 world championships between them. Count them, take it down to you. Yeah, well, 7 fouls and 4 for Vettel, 2 for Verstappen, 13 and Vettel, 13. Nice one, Ripley, not too shabby.
In a few moments' time, we have the green flag, and in front of a capacity crowd, 5 lights are on. It's lights out, away we go. Verstappen does get away well.
The top three here, Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, 13 world championships between them. Count them, take it down to you. Yeah, well, 7 fouls and 4 for Vettel, 2 for Verstappen, 13 and Vettel, 13. Nice one, Ripley, not too shabby.
In a few moments' time, we have the green flag, and in front of a capacity crowd, 5 lights are on. It's lights out, away we go. Verstappen does get away well.
The top three here, Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, 13 world championships between them. Count them, take it down to you. Yeah, well, 7 fouls and 4 for Vettel, 2 for Verstappen, 13 and Vettel, 13. Nice one, Ripley, not too shabby.
In a few moments' time, we have the green flag, and in front of a capacity crowd, 5 lights are on. It's lights out, away we go. Verstappen does get away well.
The top three here, Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, 13 world championships between them. Count them, take it down to you. Yeah, well, 7 fouls and 4 for Vettel, 2 for Verstappen, 13 and Vettel, 13. Nice one, Ripley, not too shabby.
In a few moments' time, we have the green flag, and in front of a capacity crowd, 5 lights are on. It's lights out, away we go. Verstappen does get away well.
I ain't never giving up.
The top three here, Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, 13 world championships between them. Count them, down to you. Yeah, well, 7 fouls and 4 for Vettel, 2 for Verstappen, 13, that makes 13. Nice one, Ricky, not too shabby.
In a few moments' time, we have the green flag, and in front of a capacity crowd, 5 lights are on. It's lights out, away we go. Verstappen does get away well.
The top three here, Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, 13 world championships between them. Count them, down to you. Yeah, well, 7 fouls and 4 for Vettel, 2 for Verstappen, 13, that makes 13. Nice one, Ricky, not too shabby.
In a few moments' time, we have the green flag, and in front of a capacity crowd, 5 lights are on. It's lights out, away we go. Verstappen does get away well.
The top three here, Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, 13 world championships between them. Count them, down to you. Yeah, well, 7 fouls and 4 for Vettel, 2 for Verstappen, 13, that makes 13. Nice one, Ricky, not too shabby.
In a few moments' time, we have the green flag, and in front of a capacity crowd, 5 lights are on. It's lights out, away we go. Verstappen does get away well.
Hello all and welcome into the final social race here in WHF before we start Season 8 here. Welcome in one and all. I am your host for this evening, WHF Arrow, and we're here in Abu Dhabi, aka the Yas Marina circuit, for short qualifying followed by 29 laps. And it's going to be an interesting watch to see how these drivers cope with the new regs in Abu Dhabi. I'm expecting a lot of light code through the final sector, but we'll have to wait and see what the drivers end up doing. But welcome in one and all on this Saturday evening. We've got the inaugural WHF draft tomorrow, so make sure to mark your calendars. That is going to make an exciting watch. Definitely is going to be one of the more interesting things we've done in WHF for sure. And we follow MB, who's just got the game, and I think just got a new wheel as well, has MB, so we'll see how he gets on. And it is an adjustment to get used to on this game. It's getting used to the Lyco. But we will keep an eye on how he can adjust to it. I can't really tell if he's on a push lap or not, because there's so much Lyco in this game, and I feel like he is on a push. The first driver out there in the Aston Martin. And next season we're going to have all new teams. A lot of drivers will be joining new teams. It'll be exciting to see how the teams change here in Season 8, with the draft being a massive change here in WHF. We've also got Pablos returning. He raced a couple of races back on F124, and he's back here as MB does a 25-0. But Pablos has done a couple races in the past and has returned here in Season 8 in the new regs. So keep an eye on the Cadillac driver. Is also his teammate for the season is Fakiri, does a 23.5. MB says this is his last race with his old wheel, as Hochin does a 22.6. But Alex in the Cadillac, debut for him, as Diggs in P3, Nis up to P4 with a 23.9, as Pablos does a 23.5. Let's see who next is available. Gordon goes across the line, Acco across the line in P4, Gordon in P7, Mallard out there in the Red Bull. We got Pipe Tech, Alex the debutant. We'll keep an eye on what lap time he can do here in the Cadillac as he rounds the final corner and up to the line. It's going to be a 23.6 for Alex. Very good lap time for the Cadillac driver today, as Pipe Tech will be the next driver around, with Mallard in behind. Following him across the line as Pipe Tech does a 25.5. Mallard across the line with a 24.9, as Seb on a lap as well. We'll go with Michael Louis, who's on a flyer, I think, as things stand. And Michael, the latest team captain to join the grid. He will be team captain for Aston Martin this season. And as Michael comes up the line, that's P9 with a 24.804. As we've seen someone doing a bit of a drift there. I think it might have been MB. But we'll follow Seb in the Mercedes along and see what lap time Seb can do in a Mercedes here. As he's really jumping about the gearbox a lot, upshifting and downshifting a lot, as he goes to P6 with a 23.797. And decent lap there from Seb. As who else do we have actually on a flyer? I think that's everyone on an in at the moment. But welcome in, one and all. We've got MB and Thori in the chat. Welcome in. Thori, if you're there, if you would like to race, you can let me know. I can get you an invite. Because there is spots available. There's supposed to be 20 here today. Only got 15 as things stand. As I do believe someone improved there. I think it might have been. Not quite sure who's improved there. But Diggs seems to be on the lap here in the V car. And Thori says he's at work, so can't race. Well, Thori, sometimes you gotta try and we're on the big screen at work. Thori, you must send a picture into the chat of what you mean. We need to see what that means. as Diggs backs out of his lap. Might have been improving, as MB says he improved to P9. Couldn't work out who improved there to knock the likes of Gordon and Michael Louis down the order. We've still got Codzilla and Ollie yet to set laps. Ollie exiting the box now in the Red Bull, as Seb entering the pit lane as he locks the rears to skid it round. Meanwhile, Ho-Chin is the man to beat, a 22.6 for Ho-Chin. With a storming lap in the Williams, as Michael Louis now into the final sector. And half a second to the good is Michael, which should get him up past his teammate MB for this evening. As he rotates the car through the final sector, keeps it in the limits, and flaps through the right-hander. Can he spot his braking point into the final corner? Yes, he does. Picks it perfectly, and Michael up to the line. Goes P10. I'm actually surprised. That looked like a very smooth final sector, and he seemed to lose 3/10 on the lap, so a bit surprised by that, to be honest. I thought that was a very smooth lap from Michael, but only improved by 2 and a bit tenths in the end. Meanwhile, we've got Ho-Chin and Nis on a lap. Ho-Chin's getting a tow from Nis, but we'll go on board with Nis, who has won all of the social races currently to start the season. One in Madrid, one in Catalonia. Can he win in Abu Dhabi? The 3 well-known Spanish circuits. As Nis not improving by a lot here. Only up by half a tenth, which is a bit surprising considering the pace that Nis has shown so far in the social races, but maybe through the final sector he has time to gain, as he sees an Audi just up the road ahead of him. And he will want the Audi to get out of the way, and they just about do. And the Audi might have to worry about getting out of the way of Ho-Chin as well, as Nis runs the final corner up to the line with a 22.3. Ho-Chin improves very slightly, as Echo about to start a lap here in behind, as both the Williams and the RB get out of the way as the Audi starts his lap. We've also got the Ferrari of Fakiri on a lap, although Fakiri, Tier 2 champion last season. There's a 10th down in his lap, but can he gain throughout the final sector? No, he's going to come in and go again. So Ollie might be the next driver to watch, as Ollie rounds the final section. And as the number 77 crosses the line, it's a 23.9 for Ollie, just half a tenth behind Diggs. Good opening lap there for Ollie, as Gordon seems to be on an in-lap, Mallard invalid. And let's see who else is on a lap. It might be Diggs, might be one of the next drivers to watch, although Echo is the time to beat. And can Echo Echo now running the final corner in the Audi. Can he get any more time? Yes, he does. And he's 3 thousandths behind Fakiri. Frustratingly so. Half a tenth would have got him ahead of Fakiri and Pablos onto the front of the second row of the grid. But there's a massive gap between Pablos and Ho-Chin. A second it is, as Diggs improves to 23.368. And got 3 Algerians inside the top 5, as Pablos is Jamaican, Nis is Norwegian, Echo is English. Don't know where Alex is from, as he's apparently got a purple middle sector, but is a 10th down on his time. So I'm starting to doubt that, although that's been a known glitch of the game probably for the last 10 years. As Seb invalid, so we'll stick with Alex, although there is a Ferrari of Gordon ahead of him, I believe. Yeah, Gordon rounding the final corner. And where can the Ferrari of Gordon go, as he's going to come up to the line, and Gordon goes P9. as Alex into the pit lane, so will not improve. We've got MB 10th down and going to come in. As Pablo's next driver on a push, and a massive gap between the top two and everyone else. Ho-Chin has found a lot of pace on this game. Was a tier 2 driver last season, and actually his tier 2 season came to an end here in Abu Dhabi after getting himself a season ban. But it'll be great to have him back, and now that he's found new pace, hopefully he has found a lot of racecraft with it as well, and hopefully he can have good battles in this upcoming tier 1 season. He could be one of the challengers for the title as things stand, as he's not too far off Nis, as Pablo's navigating the final sector. But Nis has been one of the drivers to watch in the social races, has won every social race as Seb. Let's see where he's facing. He is spun it at turn 9, and Seb gonna try and get it going again as Pipe Tech on a lap. Oh, and Pipe Tech boots up the rears and might have been running too high on the battery as he rotated his way through the chicane. As locked it over as Seb has spun into the pit lane. And Fakiri just not on a lap, Pipe Tech not on a lap, so Ho-Chin will be the next driver to start a lap, and has gone out rather early, 4 minutes to go. And Ho-Chin could be the driver to knock Nis off the pole position, but there is still a massive gap, 8 tenths back to Diggs. Absolutely massive. We're seeing massive gaps in this game, just like we are in real life, where you're seeing gaps of 3 seconds in the field. We're seeing a second gap between the 2 leaders and everyone else. But 3 minutes to go left in the session. We're going to stick with Ho-Chin on this lap. He is going to be the man to watch, and we'll actually turn on his telemetry just to see what it's like to be a quick driver. Nis has actually left the lobby. We're going to try and get Nis back in again, as it seemed like my game almost froze there. That was going to make me very annoyed if that happened. But we've got to get Nis back in. He may not get an opportunity to improve his lap, but Ho-Chin will. And annoyingly, on this game, they've removed the braking and throttle telemetry on this game, which I think is very stupid, so we'll just get the ERSs. Ho-Chin leaves the track and keeps it valid somehow. Not quite sure why that's allowed, but here we are. But a lift into the hairpin. And the car is just stuck. It is planted. As Ho-Chin on a flyer sees a car up the road ahead of him and is getting a little bit of a tow, but are they going to get in his way into the chicane? And they've parked right ahead of him as the Cadillac just about gets out of the way. That might have been, it was either Pablos or Alex, and that might have been a little bit distracting for Ho-Chin on this lap, who's going to try and snatch pole position away from Nis, as Ho-Chin up by just under a tenth, but needs an extra one through the final sector if he wants to get close to Nis, as he's flat on the battery and is trying to keep the power through the final sector. Keeps it just valid, left wheel on the outside line and into the final corner. Can Ho-Chin snatch pole position here at the end, as Ho-Chin up to the line, and he does! Ho-Chin on pole for the first time in WHF, and Nis will have no rebuttal with lagging out of the session. Meanwhile, Fakiri in the Ferrari up to P3, the tier 2 champion, improving massively here. We've got Diggs on a slow lap. So it might be, let's see who's the next driver to look at. Godzilla about to start his one and only lap. We've got Mallard also starting an out lap. It should be Pipe Tech, although he's on a slow lap. So I think it might be Echo. Might be the driver to watch. He's up 2/10 to the good, and that could be big. He could get ahead of Diggs, but losing the rear through the final sector. And a yellow flag hurting his battery momentarily. Hopefully that doesn't cost Echo, but it might have. But he does improve to get ahead. Oh, he actually doesn't get ahead of Diggs, and he'll stay P5, frustratingly so. Excuse me. As Alex up to P3. Brilliant lap from the caddy driver. As Seb invalid, so he'll look to go again. As let's see who's actually on a lap. Pablos might be the one to watch, as he's 2/10 to the good. We've also got MB in the final sector, but Michael Louis going to be the closest to crossing the line. Michael Louis up to P9, as Pablos now currently P7 and invalid, so will not improve. MB comes into the pit lane, as we have Godzilla entering the final sector with the Red Bulls in behind him. And I think they might be the final drivers to cross the line. I think Gordon maybe might have, as Thorny says, look at the chat on Discord. Which one? Oh wow, class. We're on Thorry's work TV. Thorry, do you work in a bar or something? As Gordon, apologies, I've missed. Ollie has gone quicker into P8. I was too busy looking at what I was sent there by Thorry. Thorry's got the screen up on a big TV in the bar. Gordon doesn't seem to be improving on his lap, so Gordon might be the last driver around. I think Seb maybe has a chance at improving here. As Seb up to the line and goes P7, goes ahead of Pablos. And brilliant lap there from Seb. As MB says beat by Michael by 1,000th. And that is very close between the Aston Martins. Very, very close. As Hochin in the chat says pole. But there you have it. Hochin on pole for his first time in his WHF career, ahead of Nis. Next it's Alex, the debutant, 9/10 behind. Massive gap up at the front. Ahead of Fakiri and Dig. Then it's Echo, Seb, Pablos, Ollie, Michael Louis, MB, Gordon, Pipetech, Mallard and Godzilla for what will be the final pre-season race. Thorry says we have people watching the WHF race in the bar. Hello to everyone in the bar. I think it's the first ever time we've got a live audience watching this stream, but happy to see you all. But we will have 29 laps around the Yas Marina circuit here in Abu Dhabi. I'll tell the drivers when they're ready up. Hopefully no one ready's early. I'll also give Nis an interview, or not even an interview, an invite if we can. I'm not sure he's joined back, so hopefully Nis can get back in time. I'm not sure if he's in or not. It seems like he's gone offline. Not sure where Nis has gone. Man has vanished off the face of the earth. Yeah, Nis just appears to be gone. Maybe he's got a power cut or something. Has been very stormy weather worldwide. We've seen a lot of chaos. I know at home there's been thunder and lightning, whereas I've seen in France there's been bad heat waves where people are like raiding shops and stuff. But anyway, we have 2 minutes before we're getting ready up, and it seems like Nis won't be here for the start, unfortunately. Maybe he can get back on. But it seems like he's had a power cut or something in Norway. Maybe he's out on the rig. MB says it's stormy right now. I think MB is German, so in Germany it's stormy. It's just kind of all over Europe. It's been very stormy weather over the past couple of days. The heat, the climate just doesn't know how to handle the heat. It seems everywhere in Europe is just storms, left, right, and centre. But get your predictions in the chat. Who do you think's going to win this one? Ho Chin, absolutely rapid off the start. And Ho Chin will definitely be the driver to watch in this race for the win if Nis doesn't get back in, because it seems like the race is only going to go one way. It's going to be Nis or Ho Chin, with them having a qualifying gap of 9/10 to the next driver of Alex. And it's been a brilliant debut for Alex, although he may be looking like a podium at best. Although with Nis not being here, he could get a P2. But Nis and Ho Chin in this track specifically just seem to be in a level of their own. But we will have the drivers ready up in a minute's time, so make sure you get your drinks. Get a tea or a beer, whatever you want to do, to sit down on this Saturday evening. I don't know about you, but I'm off work for the next 2 weeks, so it's a good time to relax. And if you're relaxing here with WHF, welcome in as you're about to watch 29 laps around the Abu Dhabi circuit here for the first time on F126. And who will win? Ho Chin last season had a season ban here in Abu Dhabi, but can he bounce back as the 5 red lights are on? And they're out. It's a jump start for Seb. Already heads down into turn 1. Brilliant start for Seb to get into the lead of the race as he gets round the outside of Seb. But Seb with a drive through off the start. Mega jump start there as Nis seems to be falling down the order by not being in the lobby. Everyone seems to have got away cleanly. Ballard flying off in the background as a little bit of contact here in the midfield. Ollie on the rear of Nis as Nis's AI under a lot of pressure here as Ollie gets ahead. Diggs dropped down a bit down the order as Akko side by side with Fakiri, going to try and outbreak him as Seb in P3, but will have to serve a drive through after jumping the start. Meanwhile, Nis continues to drop down the order, and Codzilla, Michael Louis battle as Fakiri dropping down behind Pablos. Pablos through, Akko on the rear of Seb as Fakiri contact with a Cadillac of Pablos, and Fakiri now Ollie on his outside, and Fakiri keeps that position but leaves the track. In the background we've got a lot of swapping positions as well. Nis's AI continuing to drop down. Meanwhile, Akko with Seb, and Seb spotted under the tunnel, and Seb gonna have to try and rejoin safely, and he's reset the track, which normally would be a big pen, but it's been a nightmare start for Seb. Getting a drive through to start as Ho Chin sets the fastest lap, but Alex in behind. Right on the rear of the Williams driver. Akko and Pablo's following. Fakiri has dropped down behind as Codzilla gets through on Nis, who we're still waiting to rejoin, but it seems like he may have had a power cut or some sort of maybe some sort of issue as Alex now check the tyres on the hard tyres. Along with Pablo's Cadillac have gone for the hard tyres. Everyone else in the mediums except for Gordon and Codzilla. Seb into the box, who's starting the hards. He's in for the drive through, but he's had a nightmare start as Ollie right on the rear. Fakiri gonna look for a late break as Akko's left the track up ahead and look to rejoin it. And as we go side by side with Ollie and Fakiri, Ollie looking up into P5, and Ollie and Fakiri into the wall. Ollie and Fakiri into the wall. And massive smash between the Red Bull and the Ferrari, and big damage for both cars on the right end pit. Surprised to see them both survive they wheel hooked into the wall, and they only had one way they were going to end up. And big damage for both drivers there. As Ollie into the pits, Fakiri going to follow him in as Michael Louis. A little bit of contact with Fakiri as Fakiri entering the pit lane. Nis has finally rejoined us as Fakiri retires in the pit lane. And Ollie in for new nose as Hochin's actually dropped Alex 2 seconds back during all that drama. Alex locking the rears through the hairpin as Echo tries to follow him along. And Echo's rear wing moving as Pablo's going to try and get around the outside, and it's now a Cadillac 2-3 on track. And I'm sure Thory, the team captain of Cadillac, would be very happy if his cars were running in this position. As Thory says Nis lost the first, and he's got a lot to do here on lap 3. Has dropped down to P12 as Echo's actually got damage on the front left end plate. Echo missing that right end plate. We've seen him go deep at the chicane earlier. I wondered, did damage cost, or did he get damage in that battle as Nis has left the session again. We'll try and get him back in. But it seems Nis is having some sort of issue as almost thought my game crashed there as we had a big screen freeze. We'll get Nis an invite, but anywho, we head on. Diggs now has joined the battle in the top 5, but Hochin looking absolutely rapid here in the Williams. And could he be one of the drivers to beat this season? Just gapping the drivers in behind. As in the background, we've got Gordon getting ahead of Mallard as well. And Michael Louis battling with Codzilla into the chicane. And Codzilla looking to get a good exit out of 7 as Gordon actually losing out to MB and has dropped to Mallard. So Gordon maybe had a mini spin out of turn 7 to allow Mallard and MB through. Meanwhile, right on the rear of Alex, Pavlos and Echo as Gordon gets back ahead of MB, exiting turn 9. And we seem to be missing all the overtakes as the drivers battle. Seb picking up a 3-second penalty. That's not going to help him after his drive-through penalty. As Echo on a run. But here out of turn 5, we've got these 4 cars battling over P2 and very close together. And it seems at least the Audi car has the right rear wing animation. If we follow Diggs along, we'll see Echo's rear wing drop down like the Audi does in real life. So at least that's somewhat accurate. But I haven't seen whether the Red Bulls does. Let's have a look at was Gordon down the inside of Mallard. We've not seen whether the Red Bull and the Ferrari have the right animation. Side by side they go through this tricky final sector. Mallard and Gordon battling. And can Gordon get ahead as side by side they still go, and Gordon just about edges it out. And MB now joining this battle as Echo getting a 3-second time penalty in the battle for the podium as MB gonna fillet past Mallard down into turn 1 as they go side by side. Mallard round the outside as MB hops over the curb. As Diggs now gonna get through an Echo, and Echo seems to be struggling among leaders. As Diggs gets through, yellow flag out. Not quite sure why. I think it's Seb around, and Seb having a bit of a nightmare here today. Just not going his way as MB right over the rear. Mallard makes a mistake out of 7. Can MB get on the rear? And there's a safety car out for Seb. And Seb seems to have spun. Excuse me, Seb has spun, exiting turn 3. Is Pipe Tech and Gordon swap positions? Not quite sure what that's about. But major damage on Seb's car. Front wing gone. Ho-Chin in off the mediums. He's got to try and go hard to the end. Is Gordon going to stay out on these hard tyres? He wants to go to around lap 15 before he goes in at earliest. But a lot of the hard runners are going to be quick in behind. But a lot of them are going to have to two-stop from here. Alex and Pablo's going to have to go back onto the mediums. They both started on the hard tyres. So we'll definitely have to switch tyres, as Nis now has been given a gift. He can go hards to the end from here. But it's just whether or not he can catch Ho-Chin by the end, as Ali, who had big contact with Fakiri, he's got back up again. And legs are just beside Godzilla. As Godzilla almost going for the overtake on Ali on the inside of turn 5 under safety car conditions. But a hectic start there. And, and Mercedes have left Seb without fixing his front wing, clearly. Because it's floating. It is floating. He's got a front wing, but he has no nose. As Alex and Diggs swap positions momentarily. But this has changed things. Nis now will be back in the fight for the win. Can he win his 3rd social race in a row? We will wait and see, but Nis has got a lot to go his way. But Ho-Chin seems to be the driver in the best place position. Gordon stayed out on the old hards, and Ho-Chin has just got to navigate his way through Gordon as quickly as possible and hope Gordon plays a little bit of a buffer to Alex. But Gordon and Ollie, the only drivers who've stayed out on these tyres, and the tyres on this game, I'm not quite sure how they work. I feel like they wear less, but I feel like fresher tyres do have more pace at the same time, so it's weird. It's a weird combo. But safety car will be in this lap. Seb's got himself caught up now, even though he has no nose on this Mercedes. And what will Gordon do under this restart? It's going to be tricky for him to defend on the 6th lap. Older hard tyres will keep an eye as Ho-Chin will follow him. And Gordon almost drops it out of the final corner. Ho-Chin's going to have to slow up, but he will get ahead of him into turn 1 as the Cadillac almost hits Gordon into turn 1. Alex on the inside of Gordon, side by side they go. And can Alex keep a wheel in here? And still side by side they run. Gordon going to try and keep him behind, and Gordon does get back through into P2. Ho-Chin now into the lead as Pipe Tech retires in the pit lane as Alex through on Gordon. Pablo's going to follow him through. Diggs is going to try and get his way through as well. And Gordon flashing on the rear as Diggs going to try and pick the outside of the Ferrari in the late break on the inside of the Cadillac as a little bit of contact between Diggs and Pablo's there as in the background. Nis is around and they've spun and big damage for Nis there. Front wing gone on Nis. Not quite sure who was involved there as Alex gets back into the lead ahead of Ho-Chin, and Alex takes the lead for the first time in this race. Gets ahead of Ho-Chin, and now Alex is ahead. Can he manage the lead a bit better here as big damage for Nis, who going into the race was the favourite to win the social race, and now Godzilla going for the move on Nis. And Nis has to back out. Nis going to have to put a new nose cone on that V-carb, and it's been a nightmare start to the season for Nis. As Ho-Chin will follow Alex, and Alex has got an ideal restart, although Ho-Chin does not have to box again. Nis has called it a day. A little bit as expected. It's just been a nightmare for Nis as Ho-Chin gets round the outside. And Diggs also looking on the inside of Pablos as we exit turn 5. We can see this battle as Mallard and MB battle in behind. A lot of moves happening here in synchronization. We'll go down to the background where Mallard braking later than the Aston Martin. Right up behind Gordon is Mallard. Makes a good move on MB as Mallard now going to try and get ahead on Gordon if he can. As Alex right on the rear of Ho-Chin as MB and Mallard battle over position now. One big contact between MB and Mallard. Side by side we head through turn 10, and Mallard still side by side with MB. A little bit of contact, and Mallard surely going to win this battle, and he does. Mallard fighting ferociously with the Aston Martin as Gordon doing well to defend on these older tyres. But Gordon has lost touch of the drivers up ahead. He'll now have overtake mode to use, as Gordon will not be able to defend from Mallard and MB for too long with their benefit of overtake mode as Seb retires in the pit lane as Mallard right on the rear of Gordon, and you can see the power of overtake mode in behind. Just so much battery to use does Mallard have. As Diggs also on the rear of Pablos as we exit turn 5. We'll keep an eye on both these battles as Mallard now on the inside of Gordon early on in the straight. Can he power his way through? Is MB going to look through on the inside? Mallard's lifted off, and MB now diving down the inside of Gordon, and late on the brakes is MB and has to back out as Mallard with a switchback on Gordon. And what a beautiful move from Mallard. I mean, unfortunately the camera angle wasn't great, so we didn't catch it as perfectly as we would like, as Alex gets back ahead of Ho-Chin into the lead. Alex with a penalty though, as Ho-Chin side by side with the Cadillac of Alex. These two side by side, and still side by side they go, but Alex gets ahead, but carrying that penalty may cost him here. But one thing is certain, we will have a new social race winner. And here on lap 12, still a lot to play for. Gordon out here doing the one stop. He's going to try and extend these hard tyres, and having the overtake mode is going to help him a little bit. to defend from MB as Hochin trying to play the patient game in behind MB. Following Gordon, Ollie's going to join this battle. After picking up damage earlier on in the race, he's now back up in the fight for P5. As Pablos on the rear of the Williams. And with the lift and coast into the braking zones, we've got a 3 wide moment as MB getting through on Mallard. Gordon follows him through. MB going a bit deep again. Mallard looking for the switchback. Ollie trying to hold on to this battle as Michael Louis and Godzilla also battling in the background, but we're going to keep an eye on this battle for P5. As Diggs in the background. Of this battle, 2 drivers with pans. It's Alex and Diggs in this battle for the lead. It's Hochin looking around the outside of Alex, just making him think about it. And I think Hochin's going to time this move to get ahead of Alex and burn the battery to escape the Cadillac driver, as the Cadillac defending into the hairpin, and Hochin round the outside. Can he get through on the Cadillac? Side by side they go, and Hochin now round the outside, has the extra battery to use. Alex is going to tuck him behind. He's going to want to get back ahead of the Williams, as the Williams going to try and defend this into the chicane. Pablos watching this battle as well as Alex breaks on the inside of the Williams. A little bit of contact. Pablo's going to look for the switch back here and gets round the outside of the Williams as the Williams dropping down the order. Diggs does not get a good exit, so can't capitalise here, but Pablo's now up into P6. As Hochin trying to get round the outside of Pablos. Pablo's squeezing him though. As Hochin looked for the Ron Har move into turn 12 as Hochin drops out of the lead now, but will have an opportunity to come back again. Alex doing well to defend. Doesn't want to see Hochin disappear down the road like he did earlier in the race, where he built a massive gap. As can Hochin get an exit out of turn 3, putting pressure on Pablos here as they'll try and burn the battery, exiting turn 5 as we charge down to turn 6. And Hochin now round the outside of Pablos. Can he get ahead and secure this move? Yes, he's well ahead before the braking zone. Meanwhile, in the background, we've got Mallard and Ollie still battling. MB's actually gapped the drivers behind here as the Red Bull battle with the Ferrari. Gordon being in the middle of this Red Bull sandwich as Pablo's looking for the move on Hochin. Hochin going to keep it around the outside. Hochin making that move stick, and Hochin really showing what he's made of here in this race as Ollie getting ahead of JG. As Gordon almost boots the throttle and loses it, wheel banging between Ollie and Gordon. Gordon battles with Ollie as Ollie sends it on the inside of turn 12. Becomes the outside of turn 13. Gordon keeps it ahead there. And Ollie already had big contact with another Ferrari today. And Gordon boots the throttle again, losing the rear. Exiting Latifi corner. As Hochin sees Alex on the menu once again. And he is prowling like Alex the Lion as Echo picks up a 3-second time penalty. Echo going to get round the outside. Or Echo going to get the 3-second time penalty. Hochin going to get round the outside of Alex. Alex pushes him out wide, but now the exit was slipstream. Can Hochin get back ahead? Down into the chicane. Alex having a wonderful defensive drive. You just wish he didn't have that 3-second time penalty. As Pablo's now down the inside. Cadillac working together here very, very well. As Hochin losing the rear a bit as Pablos off the track. Hochin, massive snap of the rear. And can Diggs now capitalise on Hochin? unable to get back ahead of the V-Carb. Hochin seems to have the most pace. Started from pole, had a big gap in qualifying, and had a good start to the race, but the Cadillacs have been giving him something to think about. Although, to be fair to Hochin, he can go to the end on this strategy. I wonder can Diggs can as well. We'll have a quick look. The race start. Yeah, Diggs can go to the end as well, so Diggs enjoying life. Meanwhile, both Cadillacs need a box again, but as long as they can hold up Hochin as long as possible, it can hurt his strategy whenever he goes onto the mediums as Hochin hits the rear Pablos as he tried to get round the outside. A little bit of contact with the rear of the Cadillac, and Hochin now back on the rear of the Cadillac. And still unable to get ahead of the Cadillac, so they're doing very well to hold on to the position. Meanwhile, Ollie and Mallard, the Red Bulls, look to battle for position. Gordon going to be thinking about a pit stop very soon, possibly going to lap 17 or even as late as lap 19 before he boxes on the mediums, as Mallard leading the train of Ollie and Gordon. Mallard's got the best tyres out there out of this pack, although I don't know, has Mallard done his... I think he has done a medium stint. Yes, he has. So is Ollie. Gordon has to do another stop here. Meanwhile, Mallard and Ollie can go to the end, although Ollie's going to stretch those hards massively, so I think Ollie probably will pit again. Meanwhile, Diggs has dropped out of the battle here for the lead, so it's looking like a three-way battle for the lead. Hochin following in behind the Cadillacs. Hochin does not need to box again. Meanwhile, the Cadillacs do, so that will play a factor here. And with Diggs dropping back, it looks like the best he can hope for is possibly a podium. Here on lap 17, we've got Ollie now on the rear of Mallard. Can he look down the inside of turn 9, backside of it? Doesn't want to go for a risky move on his teammate for this evening. And will Ollie or Gordon think about coming in this lap on for mediums? Ollie doesn't have to do another stop, has his mandatory pit stops completed. However, those hard tyres may struggle towards the end, so we'll keep an eye. Does Ollie dive into the pit lane? Does Gordon? No, Gordon going to stay out, possibly going as late as lap 19, as Ollie has a little snap on the rear out in the background. As the Cadillac's working well together here to box in Hochin, he just can't find a way through. And the Cadillac's absolutely defending like you see in team events. We've seen Pablos represent many teams in the past, and it just feels like we're back in the day where he's racing for another team and they're just defending well together as a team. And I'm sure Alex would love Pablos as a teammate this season. It's been a very strong race for Alex on his debut, along with Pablos in behind, who's returning to WHF, as Hochin as well returning. But Hochin does not have to box here. And it's got to be a question, when do the leaders come in? I think lap 19 is going to be the ideal lap to come in, as Ollie still following Mallard along, and Mallard possibly just managing the tyres. Meanwhile, Ollie and Gordon got to be thinking about when is the time that they want to box. Will we see Ollie dive into the pit lane? Yes, we do. Gordon going to stay out here and try an overcut. And we'll keep an eye on Gordon. And I wonder, does Gordon, importantly, have overtake mode? It looks like he does, although for whatever reason in the race it doesn't show you how much battery he has. I guess they've removed that feature entirely. As Ho-Chin still trying to get around the outside of Pablos. Pablos defending well along with Alex. And Ho-Chin, if I were him, I wouldn't be too worried. I'd be more worried about just keeping the tyres in check so that when he does get clear, he can still have tyres left to use. Because Alex and Pablos could be in this lap for their pit stops onto the medium tyres. Although they can't double stack, so who will go in first? We will see. It might be Alex in first. And Alex does bite the bullet and come in. Pablos forced to stay out another lap, which may allow Ho-Chin through, but Ho-Chin massive snap of the rear as he now can see clear air on the horizon as MB, Mallard, Gordon, Alex all into the pit lane as Ho-Chin round the outside of Pablos. And Pablos, I don't think, able to defend now. I think Ho-Chin now gonna finally disappear on the road, possibly as out of battery save. As Gordon back into the pit lane. As, big snap of the rear from Ho-Chin. And Pablos now going to try and get back through again. And all this battling with Pablos is helping Alex's race. Alex now a good 17 seconds off the lead, but can he catch in 9 laps? We'll wait and see. As Pablos trying to put pressure on Ho-Chin. And now Pablo's surely going to be in this lap to get off these hard tyres. Meanwhile, Diggs has a chance at a podium here in WHF, as Alex will try and fight his way through. And Gordon has done a hard medium. There was a safety car at this at around lap 6 or so, scones. As Pablos and Alex and Diggs into the box. Diggs had already done a pit stop, so surprising to see him in. As Ollie now on the rear of MB, who had boxed for fresh hards. No scones, it was 6. And Ollie now on these mediums has DRS with MB, and that could help massively in this race. Because the overtake, well, he doesn't have DRS, he has overtake mode. Sorry, it's going to take me a while to get used to replacing DRS with overtake mode, but Ollie will have overtake mode for this lap as they're on the rear of Echo, who hasn't boxed in a while. I'm surprised to see Echo where he is. Don't know why MB's got so... I don't understand why Echo is where he is on the track. That's confusing me. Echo must have had a major spin of some sort, because that really doesn't make any sense to me why he is where he is. As MB and Ollie on fresh tyres now. And MB can use Echo as an opportunity to escape if MB stays out another lap, which I think Echo's probably going to try and stay out. His hard tyres should go to the end. We'll wait and see. As Echo sets as Alex sets the fastest lap, my mistake. But MB now will have overtake mode to use on Echo. Ollie's got to try and get ahead of the Audi driver as soon as possible. Otherwise, MB could clear off down the road on these hard tyres. As MB now has to get ahead of Echo, already flashing on the rear. But does Ollie follow him through? Ollie, I think, has to go for the dive bomb here. And Ollie is. Dive bomb from the Red Bull of Ollie. Echo leaves him the space. And Echo down now to P6. I'm not quite sure what's happened to Echo's race for him to be in this position, but Ollie makes a crucial move to stick with MB. Meanwhile, we've got Diggs joining the battle in behind as well. But Ollie and MB going to battle for P4 here. Scones, Hochin does not have to pit. He's already done his one stop. He is just coasting to the end, Scones. Meanwhile, Alex and Pablos are on a charge. They're doing a two-stop, trying to catch him. Echo into the pit lane again for his third stop. And I'm not quite sure what's happened to Echo's race, to be honest. Whatever has happened with it, we've missed it. But he's definitely encountered some drama that has cost him. I think he can manage the tyres to the end, Scones. It is a bit of a distance because the safety car was probably a bit early. But whenever you have the clear air like Hojin does, you can really take your time and manage the tyres a bit easier, which allows you a little bit extra of tyre percentages in the background. We've got Diggs on the inside of Ollie, and Diggs gets through in the V-carb on the fresher medium tyres. Ollie tries to get the exit out of turn 7. Gordon back ahead of Mallard. On equal tyres now is Gordon and Mallard. As Ollie on the rear of Diggs. Can he search for a way through as Gordon? Also trying to find a way through. Here on lap 24 of 29, Alex 10 seconds behind the lead of Hochin. Can he catch him before the end? Pablo's 3 seconds in behind his teammate is on the charge as Diggs going to try and get through on MB, and this is crucial for Diggs' race. He needs to get ahead and gap the drivers in behind to break his penalty threshold. As Diggs now down the inside of MB. We'll look for the switchback as Ollie seems to have lost touch with his battle as MB has absolutely been flying. But here on lap 25 of 29, Diggs still unable to get ahead of MB. Hochin continuing to hold the lead. I don't think Alex is going to catch him quick enough. He isn't making up the time, leaps and bounds like he needs to be. And he's got to be more wary of Pablos snatching P2 from him because of that time penalty that Alex has in his Cadillac. As Diggs now on the rear of MB. And can Diggs get back ahead down into turn 6? Rear light flashing on MB as Diggs going to look down the inside. And MB on the outside, which becomes the inside of the next corner. And And MB dives it down the inside of Diggs, trying to put pressure on the Algerian driver. It's Germany versus Algeria. Like I was about to say, like did that game happen in the World Cup? I don't think it did. But round the outside, the German goes, and a little bit of wheel banging between MB and Diggs. I think MB may have the overtake mode to use. We'll have a quick look at the telemetry, what it's telling us, but Diggs hasn't, so Diggs has an opportunity now to escape down the road with the overtake mode enabled for this lap. I kind of wish EA just had like a symbol, like an O next to Diggs' name to symbolise that he is overtake mode, to make things a bit simpler. But here on lap 26 of 29, Alex 7.5 behind Ho-Chin, needs to push flat out to the end here if he wants to catch Ho-Chin. As MB on the rear of Diggs, still doing well to hold on to the rear of Diggs. And down the inside he goes. Oh, thought for a second there MB had lost it. Akko gets through on Codzilla. And Akko on the freshest hards out there, looking for Michael Louis next on his agenda. Alex has caught another second to Ho-Chin, but it isn't quick enough as Akko now round the outside of Michael Louis. Michael defending into the final sector. Akko putting pressure on the Aston Martin driver. As the Audi mounting the pressure on, Akko will have overtake mode to use this lap. And can he find a way through? 3 laps to go in this one. Still a lot to play for Akko on the outside of Michael Louis. As we head down into turn 5, can Akko get around the outside? And a lovely move from Akko there, Michael Louis. Back on the rear. As MB also pushing on Diggs. Can MB find an opening? As Akko now has dropped Michael Louis. Akko will now try and head down the road, but the gap is now 10 seconds to the car behind. Alex 4 seconds behind Ho-Chin. Can he catch 2 seconds per lap and then somehow get ahead of Ho-Chin and gap him? I don't think it's going to be doable. Pablos has lost a second since the pit stop phase to Alex, despite having the lap fresher medium tyres, so it seems Alex is just very strong here at Abu Dhabi, as Pablo seems to have lost another half a second into the chicane. So Alex absolutely flying, almost made up a second there on Ho-Chin, just out of the final out of the chicane of turn 7. Meanwhile, MB just sticking inside the overtaking mode of Diggs, knows that 3-second time penalty will cost him a position. As MB still trying to stick with Diggs, and Diggs dropping him here could be crucial, but we're on the final lap and MB still inside the overtake mode, so that should help him in cementing P4 in this race. But fantastic race from MB on his final race on his old wheel, and a perfect way to send it off, I would say, with MB finishing P4 in this social race. Meanwhile, Ho-Chin has been the man of the hour, and this one stop has worked a treat for him. The safety car did not come at an opportune time, but Ho-Chin has done well to manage the tyres, and now just has one more sector to go before he picks up his first ever WHF win. It may be in a pre-season race, but it matters all the same. And Ho-Chin could take this momentum into Season 8 and be one of the drivers to watch. We will definitely have to wait and see. As Ho-Chin now rounds the final corner and up to the line, Ho-Chin wins in Abu Dhabi ahead of Alex, who had a magnificent debut ahead of Pablos back on the podium. Diggs will cross the line in P4 with MB in behind, leaving his old wheel in the past, but sends it off with a Viking funeral in P4. And what a send-off it is, as Gordon gets ahead of Ollie at the final corner. And what a move from Gordon to get ahead of Ollie. And Gordon into P6, Mallard into P8, Echo down to P9. Michael Oy picking up another pen, which may hand Godzilla position here potentially as we round the final corner. And there you have it. Ho-Chin picks up his first win in WHF ahead of a Cadillac 2-3. Pablos in P3, Alex in P2. And there you have it. Driver of the day goes to the Audi of... Oh, wait, the Ferrari of Gordon? I don't know why it says Audi. I'm in confusion. But Ho-Chin gets his win. Fastest lap goes to Diggs. And we've got a lot of quick drivers joining us this season. And it'll be exciting to see as we head into Season 8 who will be the drivers to watch. We'll get the race director in just for old time's sake, even though we won't be doing anything. But a brilliant race there for Ho-Chin and Alex. Brilliant debut in P2 as Pablos finishes P3. But thank you all for watching. If you have enjoyed, please drop a follow to WHF. We are going to start up this season in 2 weeks' time. Sign-ups close in approximately 2 hours and 40 minutes. So if you haven't signed up yet, please do. Also, the inaugural draft will take place tomorrow at 8 PM, and do not miss it because it is going to be an absolute barn burner to watch. I cannot even begin to express to you the masterclass that Hemi Dimes has created for the draft. It is must-see TV. But we will see you all tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. I've been WHFO, and we'll see you for the draft tomorrow. Who will be picked where, we'll have to wait and see. But thank you all for watching, and goodbye.
Start